I was surprised to see in this bill that we are repealing some simple language that in caucuses before was eligible voters were able to be in caucuses. We were repealing that, and so this amendment goes back to what I believe the Minnesota voters expect us to do, to provide transparency, to provide confidence in our elections, to keep with the integrity of our elections, that we want to keep caucuses so that it is simply eligible voters who are participating in the caucus process.
Caucuses and conventions, on the other hand, are not voting. It's a party-organized and party-regulated process. It's not a state function. The provision in this amendment would delete aligned statutes with court holdings, and so I'm going to encourage members to vote no.
Again, we just want to make sure that we are protecting the Minnesota voters, that we are doing the business that Minnesota wants. We just recently passed the driver's license for all, and we want to make sure that when we are participating in the caucus process, that that is staying, just as it always has been in law, just to the eligible voters.
There being 61 ayes and 70 nays, the motion does not prevail and the 829 amendment is not adopted.
I rise today, members. The amendment number 30 on this elections bill portion is, it's basically what's happening now is we're growing government again, but we're also putting a totally unneeded burdensome on our businesses, on our small businesses. Right now in the state of Minnesota, we can early vote for 46 days. That's 46 days. We have absentee ballots, which we could request. We can mail in our ballot. We also have same-day voting. And now what this bill did is it's requiring businesses to have one more burden placed upon them, and it is asking them to allow additional early voting. This is completely not necessary in the state of Minnesota. This is actually, I would say, if a person cannot vote in that 46 days time or use an absentee ballot, it's just very, very disheartening to see that we're putting another mandate, another burden on our small businesses.
I'm going to ask members to vote no on this amendment. I don't totally understand the purpose.
We have many, many ways to vote. It's actually very insulting to think that someone cannot vote in that 46 days and figure out a way to do it without adding another burden onto our businesses. Another thing is, in the state of Minnesota, we often like to brag in this in our elections committee and on the floor, that we have some of the highest voter turnout in the country. I hear this all the time. And yet, we are pushing a bill, pushing another mandate, another burden on our small businesses that's absolutely unnecessary with the high voter turnout. Members, I ask that we support small businesses. There are many businesses out there. There's many examples that someone might just have 2 or 3 employees, and this would be an undue burden to these businesses. So let's protect our small businesses. Let's give people credit. They can figure out how to vote over 46 days. They absolutely can. This is an unnecessary new law that's being pushed, a new mandate, a new burdensome thing. Please vote for this amendment.
Cool.